Hi everyone. We will start the webinar soon. We're just waiting for the speaker. Once the speaker arrives, we can start the webinar. Hi
Hi,
everyone.
is my voice audible, Vikash?
Yes, yes, Arvind. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. So I will just press in. Yeah, I think my screen is visible.
Yeah, your screen's visible.
Okay, okay. So, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. So today's webinar topic is generate the GenAI age for professionals. So this is a introduce the speaker for today's webinar. So today's speaker is Mr. Arbaz Munshi. He's a leading expert in DevOps, data analytics, cloud architecture, and generative AI, with years of experience guiding professionals through career growth in cloud and AI space. He has mentored thousands through industry-focused webinars and hands-on workshops, offering deep insights into certificate paths, job roles, and emerging technology trends. Abbas is a GenAI career expert who has been enabling professionals from different backgrounds with successful career transition in the field of GenAI. So today in this webinar, you get this chance to get all your queries related to the trends and opportunities in the GenAI to be resolved. So before handing over to the speaker, I'll quickly give the instructions for today's webinar. So this is a listen-only mode webinar. So whatever queries and doubts you have, you can put it in the Q&A section of the chat. Thank you. Over to you, Arbas.
Great. Thank you so much, Vikash, for
Yeah,
such a
Arbas, can you
wonderful.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Vikash, can you hear me?
Yes, Arbas. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Great, great. So, first of all, thank you so much, Vikash, for such an
Yes, Arbas, I can hear
wonderful.
you.
Sorry, are you able to hear me, Vikash?
Yes, I was. I can hear you, but I think there is a little network issue. But you can go on. Yeah.
Okay, okay, fair enough. So I was saying thank you so much for an amazing introduction. And first of all, welcome everyone for today's webinar on on the generative AI, which is on the prompt generate dominate, right? So that's the Gen AI edge for the professionals, right? So we'll be walking you through this, but before we could proceed further, I just want to set the context. Like Vikash just mentioned that this is only going to be on the listen only mode, and I want to make it as interactive as possible. So I would kindly request anyone, whoever is having a question, a doubt, a query, to please feel free to ask it in the Q&A or in the chat box. I'll try to answer all your queries that you have. However, in case if the time doesn't permits, we have a bandwidth issue, do not worry about it. I'll get back to you via email and I'll have all your doubts clarified as well. Right now, let's begin. Now, the most hottest topic in the world right now is generative AI, and let's try to understand why generative AI, matters now, right? So first and foremost, there's a massive productivity gains. When it comes to generative AI, it can basically unlock up to 4.4 trillion in an annual economical value. And this happens through, the automation and smarter decision making that's been happening right now, right? There's also a very high adoption rate, which is 87% of the companies are already piloting or using generative AI. This is making it as a top strategic priority at the moment. So if you have heard, 98% of the CEOs across the world right now are already on the urge of implementing generative AI in their organization. I'm sure your CEOs out there are also on the urge for that, or maybe they're already using it as well, right? Business model transformation, right? So Gen AI basically enables entirely new ways of working, redefining processes in marketing and research and development alongside customer service, right? Also, we see a lot of competitive differentiations altogether, right? Majority of the companies, if you look at it, they are actually leveraging the generative AI with their own data, and they are also building unique defensible advantages as well at the same time, right? Let's try to understand the journey of Gen AI. This is something that I would like to talk about, so that everybody has a fair share of idea. So Vikas, if you could just go to the next slide. So basically talking about this, in December 22 is where chat gpt, it basically hit 1 million users in just 5 days of time. And that happens to be the most shortest time, right? So it reached around 100 million users altogether, and it became the fastest growing consumer in the app, just just from December 2022 to Jan 2023, right? So I call it both amazing, fantabulous, and insanely cool is what basically happened to see, because we had not seen a consumer app in the history that was hitting this numbers altogether. Vikash, could you just change the slide? If you could just go to the slide number 3, please, that will be helpful. Right. So I also
I was.
wanted
I
to.
did change it.
I think it's still on slide number 2 on the screen.
Didn't. Um.
Can you just try to reshare your screen?
Uh.
Yeah, I think there should be a network glitch for you. Yeah, now it's there. Now it's there. Thank you, Vikas. So so basically, as I could come back, I would eventually not waste the time and instead go into the uh, more details into the journey of Gen AI. So basically, this the story of AI, to be a little precise with this spans, decades ago, right from the early work of Gen AI when it began in 1980s. And this was a major momentum that started around 2006, which was, if you might have heard of something called as deep belief networks. I mean, you can use ChatGPT to search this information, or you can also Google it. I would rather prefer you using ChatGPT to find this information. That would be more informed decision altogether, right? And then came in the introductions to GANs, right, which is the generative adversarial networks, the GANs, in 2014. So this was marked as a turning point in AI research and creativity. So this eventually paved in a way to a lot of realistic image, video, content generation, and all that. So this was all happening way back in 2014, right? So the real game changer that happened altogether was in 2017 with the advent of transformers, which fundamentally changed how the artificial intelligence processes and generates information, right? Fast forward to 2018, that's when OpenAI released the first GPT model. Now, since then, we have experienced a lot of exponential growth into AI capabilities, and a lot of things have, continued to change and accelerate from there on how we've been using it or how it's going ahead, and so on, right? Moving on further, I would like to talk a little bit about the late 2022. So this eventually marked the beginning of a true agentic capabilities into GPT models. And then as of now on 2025, agentic AI is out there. It's real, not a theory anymore. It's eventually a fast growing standard, and a lot of intelligent agents that are out there actively performing a lot of multiple different tasks altogether, right? So all of this innovation traces eventually back to its, to have said that the roots are in 1950s, when Alan Turing eventually laid the groundbreaking of what we now call as artificial intelligence, right? Now, the key question to all of us is, we need to explore, right? We need to understand what is next in this evolution of Gen AI and agentic AI, and are we still early, or we are standing at the edge of something even bigger than this? Or, most importantly, are you ready to adapt, evolve, and lead in this AI powered era? That should be a question out of the equation a lot of people might be asking, because I happen to speak to a lot of C-level executives like directors, CEOs, right? VPs, AVPs of major tech giant companies altogether on a global spectrum. And everybody is right now at this point of the time is under uh, the evolution umbrella of generative AI, and how they want to deploy. Every company is coming with a new strategy on how potentially they can utilize the technology, right? How they can train their workforce, how they can hire the new workforce eventually. Because if you look at the job market, that's eventually changed a lot in a couple of years altogether, right? So let's try to understand a little bit about generative AI versus agentic AI altogether, right? So we have categorized it, what it does, right? So when we talk about generative AI, it basically creates content like text, images, or code, right? However, agentic AI, on the other side, it carries out tasks or goals, autonomously altogether, right? Now, how does it work? Basically, if you look at generative AI, it responds to prompts or the questions altogether. When you type in a question on GPT model, it's eventually responding to your question, right? However, on agentic AI, it takes action based on the goals and planning altogether, right? Now, the user role, if we look at it, user eventually is a human who's trying to use these models altogether, right? So with generative AI, user gives specific instructions each time, while in agentic AI, user sets a goal and AI works independently. So there's no much human intervention required there, right? The examples for generative AI could be chatbots, uh, image generators, and writing tools. Wherein for agentic AI, it's virtual assistants, research agents, and automation bots, right? There are many other examples, but I've just listed out few so that you can have a complete understanding of this content altogether so that you can consume it well. Now, what is this best for? Now, generative AI is best for content creation and idea generation, while on the contrary, agentic AI is best for completing tasks and solving long-term problems, right? Which is a need of the hour at the moment, right? Moving on, I would like to talk a little bit about rags. A lot of people keep asking this question about, what is rag and all of that. So let me give you an information here. So rag basically is nothing but it's a retrieval augmented generation. It's actually a technique where you use this technique for enhancing the accuracy and the reliability of Gen AI models with facts that are fetched from external sources. So, for example, if you could see on the left side, there's a diagram that has also been mentioned, wherein user inputs a query is submitted like what is GenAI. The retriever eventually searches the document database and it retrieves the most relevant pages, right? And then generators basically reads the retrieved document plus the original question and generates a coherent fact based answer, right? I hope this is pretty much understood for everyone, right? Great. Now let's try to understand prompt engineering similarly. Basically, it's crafting specific instruction from AI models to guide it to generate desired outputs, right? So we've given an anatomy of the prompt, right? So let's try to look at it. The context is provide some background or context for action. So example, who is the audience? What tone you want to set, right? Then comes your role. Tell the chat GPT who to be. Example, expert, executive, or industry role. Then tell chat GPT what to do. So the example is answer a question, provide information, summary, and revision, right? Then the output. Tell chat GPT how you want to present the information. Do you want it in paragraph, in bullets, in list, or in an Excel sheet? Right? The example is just below. I'm applying for a position. You can name the position there, and company, you if you want to add the company. This is my second interview. Plus, act like a role of an interviewer and a hiring manager. Plus, analyze the following job description and tell me what I can expect in an interview. Copy the job description entirely, then plus provide the bullet list, right? So this is what basically we add, and well, you have the answers already, and I'm sure a lot of you people might have used this already, or you know can try using this today and eventually try to understand the anatomy of prompt. So it's basically context, role, action, output. That is how it eventually works, right? So moving on, I would want to talk a little bit about the Gen AI for core business transformation, right? So to be a little precise, Gen AI delivers the greatest value, when initiatives are aligned with core business functions, not just treated as experiments, right? So enterprises basically see most benefit when they move beyond isolated pilots and use Gen AI to transform foundational workflows tied to strategic priorities these days. And I think the top Fortune 500 companies are already doing that, right? Now this is by tunneling manual process into fast data driven cycles, right? So Gen AI is already enabling tangible productivity gains across areas such as software development, customer service, right? So, for example, smarter contact centers, marketing, content creation, and R&D is already at the peak of it, right? So let's try to understand, what are the most in-demand tools apart from ChatGPT, because everybody knows ChatGPT these days, right? So first thing that I want to talk about is LangChain. So LangChain acts as a framework for, orchestrating the interaction between the LLMs, that's the large language models, and other components, simplifying, the process of building AI applications. And this is the need of the hour right now, right? Then comes Augmented. So this provides a platform, libraries, and pre-trained models that simplify the process of developing and deploying AI applications altogether. Then you got Streamlit, right? So Streamlit basically enables the developers to build attractive UIs, that's user interface, in no time, no front end, no HTML, JS, CSS experience or knowledge is required to use this tool. It does the job, right? Then comes Whisper. Whisper is basically an open source, uh, speech recognition system, and also a transcription tool developed by OpenAI, and it uses deep learning to convert spoken language into written text, right? So these are the most in demand tools apart from ChatGPT, right? So I've got one of the case studies that I would like to talk about. Uh, this is with travel planning, which is booking.com. So booking.com aim to leverage AI to simplify traveling, the travel planning experience for its users, right? So it's known for its data driven innovations. So the company has access to a very vast and extensive data sets. This includes content review and booking details and all of that. So however, customers often found it difficult to filter and use this data effectively. To address this, what booking.com developed is it eventually developed an AI trip planner altogether. So this is um, an in-app feature I'm talking about that eventually enables users to chat with an AI assistant about their traveling preferences. First of all, it could be things like their destinations, the activities. So the tool basically anonymizes user data. It eventually uses the company's vast travel related data set to generate tailored recommendations altogether. Now, these are presented in a carousel format, allowing the users to easily browse and book options directly within the app itself, right? So this is one of the case study that I would wanted to talk about, and I also wanted to emphasize a little bit about what is trending in the industry right now, right? So everyone's talking about Google's Alpha Evolve, right? So Alpha Evolve is an evolutionary agent from DeepMind that discovers and refines algorithm using Gemini LLMs, right? So Alpha Evolve begins by generating, multiple algorithm variants using prompts powered by large language models like Gemini, right? It then automatically tests and evaluates each of these versions to identify the most efficient and accurate solutions through an iterative process. So it selects top performers, refines them, furthers and evolves the code to eventually achieve a superior results over time, right? So this is the power of Alpha Evolve, right? Now, based on this, I want to talk a little bit about great learning. Basically, what we've been doing is we are enabling career success in digital economy. So it's India's leading edtech company for professional and higher education, wherein we provide best in class, completion rates and learner satisfaction and career transitions also at the same time. We have got more than 13 plus million learners that are empowered across 170 plus countries. We have delivered more than 451 million learning hours with an average sessions rating at 4.8 out of 5 stars rating altogether. right? So if you see, we have happened to do more than 18,000 plus career transitions of the people who have happened to do the program with us and got a transition and got placed into better organizations and better designations. We have had more than 4,200 plus hiring companies. These include product and service based companies that hire from us. um, Talking about our gurus, we have a guru network of more than 7,700 plus gurus altogether, right? Some of the notable academical partnerships with the world's leading universities is what we have, wherein we have, University of Texas at Austin, Great Lakes, Northwestern, MIT. We've got MIT IDSS and MIT International Education. We've got John Hopkins University, Walsh College. There is Deakin University, and there are many other universities that go in here altogether. But this specific thing that I wanted to talk about is eventually from University of Texas at Austin. So the curriculum that we have for this generative AI for business application program, it covers you from the scratch. So you don't have to be an expert or build your knowledge around this, right? So we cover basically, foundations. We take you through Python, Pandas, NumPy. Then we go to your business applications with LLM. I think Sandesh has a question. Sandesh, I'll be answering your question. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'll get to your answers. Then on the business applications with LLMs, you got the Hugging Face, Transformers, and LangChain. Then you got responsible generative AI solutions as well. That would be a part of the program. So if you see the tools and technology, we've got Feist, ChatGPT, Gemini, DALI, Whisper, Streamlit. This is something that has been covered, right? So how does this program happens, right? If I have to give you some light about the program, it's a 3 months post graduation program in generative AI for business applications. First thing first, you get dedicated support to help you complete the program, right? Uh, Certificate of completion is something that you will have from University of Texas at Austin. So you're learning from the world class university, which is top ranked in the world. It has global presence altogether, right? And it's one of the best in the world university as per the QS World Rankings. This program also offers you the most relevant curriculum that's out there across the world, because this is happening already in 170 plus countries altogether. You got 10 weekly mentorship sessions. You have live mentorship by industrial professionals that you get that happens every weekend, right? You get to deep dive into widely used tools that I just showcased, and you get personal assistance and the career support as well at the same time, right? So I think that was pretty much it from my end for the program. I am ready to take the Q&As. Please feel to ask any questions that you have. I would request you, making in the utilization of, the Q&A and the chat box. So I'll first of all try to answer the question, which is asked by Sandesh. So Sandesh asks, as the model's context window size is increasing, will RAG be dead going forward? Um, well, to be a little precise, on this part, it's a very big question, right? Because there's a increasingly high context window size of the LLM models altogether. So does raise uh, you know about the rags, if I may have to talk about the methods. uh, However, saying rag might be dead might be an overstatements, right? Because I have a little nuanced perspective, because there is first of all a complementary role, because RAG isn't just about retrieving information, right? It also enhances models by grounding their responses in specific, it could be relevant data, or even at larger context windows. That's basically the ability to fetch the real-time information and specialized context from external databases. It can still provide a lot of value. You got your efficiency and scalability that comes in. You've got dynamic current information that would be a part, because to be specific, right, rack systems can provide a lot of real time information that's static right? So context based models eventually may lack, but this particularly, if I'll have to tell you, it's very vital and fast changing, right? uh, and eventually, if you look at it, user preferences, if I may have to talk about, right now, depending on the user needs, some may prefer the grounded, you know uh, factually, but the responses that RAG offers altogether, while others may be satisfied with generative capabilities for LLM context models alone, right? So rather than eliminating RAG, the evolution of context window sizes may lead to more sophisticated, integration of RAG with LLMs. So this will create opportunity for something like a more hybrid models. So some of the companies are already been working on to systems like this. So I'm not sure by when we can see this, but they are all eventually working on that. So I hope I was able to answer. I see a question here from Anand Ayer. Do the program give an access to all AI paid AI part of the program? So if you're specifically asking for the tools, that would be eventually there as a part of the program. So this is something you will have an access on the learning portal called Olympus. So you will be having an accessibility altogether, Anand.
Arbas, can you hear?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, great. Just wanted to check. Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. So is there any other questions? Please feel free to ask me. I'll be more than glad and happy to answer. Sandesh, I hope you got the answer.
And also, guys, if you have any questions related to the
Okay,
the
great.
program, the Arbas, yeah,
Yeah,
can you
I,
hear me?
I'll
Yeah.
be I'll be more than glad to answer. So Rahul has a question. Perplexity or ChatGPT, which AI model is best, or can you suggest me the best ones? Uh, well, Rahul, to be a little precise, with majority of the companies, if you ask me, they've been using ChatGPT for their works right now. There are few of them who are using Perplexity.ai as well, but majority of them are using ChatGPT, right? And Gemini also, for that matter of fact. Any other
Yeah.
questions regarding the program or anything regarding the content or anything?
Arbas, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I have shared a form in the chat. So if you guys have any questions regarding program structure, the curriculum, or the fee structure, or if you are interested in any other programs as well, you can fill the forms and you can give a suggestion saying you have query in this particular topic, so that our team will get back with all the answers to you, right? So
absolutely.
this,
Yeah.
yeah, filling this form will help you to know details not only about this program but also the available programs of your interest as well. So you can fill this form to get your answer. Okay, like this. Yeah,
All right. Thank you so much, Vikas. I would also recommend the same. You know, I think you should try filling in the form, connect with the generative AI consultants, because to be a little precise, you could be a person with a different objective in mind. Somebody, you could be somebody who's got good amount of years of experience, want to transition to senior leadership roles, you know, uh, the GenAI consultants can guide you there. If you are mid-level managers or you're just early bird who's just kick-started your career, looking into getting into generative AI, or you're somebody who wants to understand what is the job market, how will this eventually this technology match with my current goals, current objectives, and how I can use this particular technology in my upcoming jobs. Or you could be an entrepreneur who eventually wants to start a business model with the help of generative AI and agentic AI, right? So there could be different different problem statements and different objectives that you might have. So connect with the GenAI consultants. These are the experts who can eventually guide you, because everybody's use case at hand is different. So I would recommend everyone to fill this form, have a conversation with the GenAI consultants. This would be like hardly 5 to 10 minutes of conversation. You get a proper understanding about your profile, as well as whether you should be getting into a technology like GenAI or not. So I think that is pretty much it from my end. So I do not see any questions that are coming in, right? So
Yeah.
thank you so much everyone for joining in today's session. I'm sure you have found it insightful. I would be looking forward of seeing you for our upcoming webinars as well, right? Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Arbas. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Um, yes. Guys, if you have any other doubts, you can just put in the chat. I can reply. And then in meanwhile, you can also fill up these forms, right? So that we can get your remaining queries answered as well. Okay. So I think there is one question saying, is this an interactive format and how is this different than leadership AI? Okay, so this program is for generally for leadership people. So this is a 3 month program, uh, University of Austin Generative AI program. So this program mostly focuses on tools and lesser programming. Okay, so if you are in mid-career, if you want to focus more into programming as well, you can go for our AI ML program as well. We have AI ML program as well. So whatever, my yes, okay, Anand, yeah, sure. Yeah, Ajay. So we also have AI ML programs. So if you are in the mid-career, if you want thinking of adapting AI techniques into your domain, then you can pick AI ML program as well. If not, if you're interested in GenAI, so then this is a detailed course on GenAI, mostly about tools and structures, right? Okay. I'll wait for 2 more minutes for you guys to fill the form, right? And in the meantime, if any questions are there, I will answer. I hope you guys can hear me, right? Okay. Anand, any use case for prompt refining technique? Yeah. So, see, prompt refining is nothing but it's in our hands. Like, let's say you are giving a prompt initially, and you don't get the desired output that you want. You give one more prompt to make the agent to understand it very well. Okay. So that is why what initially we do is if let's say you are working with Excel and you have a doubt and you are asking a question to ChatGPT, what you can do initially is you can say that, hey, hey, act as a Excel expert and I have few queries and I wanted to sort it out. So you give an initial prompt and you let the chat GPT know that you are going to question about Excel so that it will have a pretty more clear answer, right? So that is how you do prompt refining. Okay, so prompt refining doesn't have any particular use case, right? But this is what generally we do, right? Rather than just going and asking questions initially, you can tell the ChatGPT to act as an expert in that particular domain, and you can ask questions. Okay, I think that is clear. Okay, great. I could see there are good number of responses. Yeah, thank you, Anand. Any other questions I can take up? I think we can still take 5 minutes to fill up the forms, uh, and I can take up any questions regarding the courses as well. Uh, I have shared the form one more time, so you can fill this form. If let's say if you are thinking to do some other data science course or something related to the recent technologies, you can have a insight about that, and you can also have an idea about our upcoming webinars as well. So if you wanted to join our upcoming webinars, you can also fill this form and ask for the details, and we will give you the details. So we'll wait till 6:45, and then we can end the webinar. I don't see any other questions. You can just drop your questions. Any doubts you have related to the course or related to the webinars or the fee structure, you can just drop it in the chat as well. Okay. Okay, guys, I think there is no more questions. So thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. Bye.